a story comes along to teach us something about life that we might not have considered before. Today we're talking with the author of Find Your Happy, an inspirational guide to loving life to its fullest. She's here with ideas on growing our happiness with things as simple as watching the new movie, The Great Gatsby. Please welcome happiness expert Shannon Kaiser. How are you?
Hi, it's so good to be here.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you.
You wore your little Gatsby-inspired headband, which I think is great. This is a nice thing because these are sort of evergreen ideas, but we're using the movie to examine some of these ideas. What can we learn from the characters in this movie? Because the story, the book, is actually fairly dark.
It is. It's an American classic novel, but it's been translated into the movie twice now. And the one that's in the theaters right now, the characters in themselves are really well developed, and there's a lot of life lessons that we can learn from them. Metaphors just layered throughout the story, and I feel like all of us can use a little more happiness in our life, and just looking at them as a reflection could be a really good way to get there.
Well, one of your ideas, and we're going to go through 5 of them, is to always try to see the best in people. And so there's a part of the movie that we want you to see as well that we can talk about in relation to this. But that's something that we always kind of think we do.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
Often do not do.
Yeah, in the opening scene, Tobey Maguire's character, Nick Carraway, says his father's best advice to him was to really try to see the best in people. This led to a great life full of really rich experiences. And I think for us, many times, whether we're in a relationship, maybe a situation at work, we tend to focus on what we don't like in people, or maybe those habits that drive us crazy. Really, I think on your path to happiness, getting in touch with the good in people and giving everyone the benefit of the doubt is a really great way to find more inner peace.
And sometimes you really have to just concentrate on that, right?
You
find yourself thinking that negative thought and say, well, wait a minute, what do I really like and enjoy about this person, and make sure that you kind of flip that switch back in the other direction.
Yeah, and it's kind of what you would want people to see in you. We want to see the good in people.
Exactly. You'd want to be given the benefit of the doubt.
Yep.
Focus on what you want, and you use as a metaphor the green light, the beacon across the water that Gatsby is looking at Daisy's house that sort of represents his longing for her.
Yeah, exactly. Just in the movie, actually every character in the movie is really focused on what they want, whether they want to, as Gatsby wants to get back together with Daisy, whether they want to find out the truth in someone, whatever it is, their desire drives them. And I think for all of us, when we really want to make our dreams come true, focusing on what we want is something we need to do, because many of us don't realize we actually focus on what we don't want more. I want a new car, but mine's breaking down. I want to lose weight, but I weigh more than I ever have. And constantly the dialogue in our head is usually racket filled with what we don't want. And I find that when you focus on what you want, similar to the characters in the movie, you get what you want much faster.
That's an interesting thing. And I had a 20-year-old tell me over the weekend that she sets a goal for every day. And I thought, okay, now I'm embarrassed. I have nothing to say to that except that's a good idea.
Well, you can focus on a goal.
Yeah, exactly. I thought, that's a very good idea, that she doesn't just have her long-term goals, but sets the pace for herself every day. What a brilliant thing.
Yeah.
The third idea we're going to talk about is don't hang out in the past. And for this, we're going to take a look at a clip from this terrific movie.
I've gotten all these things for her. I've gotten all these things for her. Now she just wants to run away. She wants to leave that.
Jay, you can't repeat the past.
Can't repeat the past.
No.
Why, of course you can. Of course you can.
Well, that was his fatal flaw.
And this is a great clip to show really the segment of the whole movie. He is obsessed with the past, and it really becomes his downfall, as we know. And it's interesting because many of us really hang out in the past, and sometimes we don't even realize it. When we're trying to reach our goals, when we're working towards a dream, most of us, we have regrets, we have resentments, and really looking at what's holding us back. It's almost like you're cheating on your future with your past, because we see...
there's a thought, yeah.
Yeah, because we see Jay Gatsby, he can never really get to where he wants to go because he's so consumed with an older version of himself. Right. And so for us in general, if we're working towards making a dream come true, it's really important to be present and allow your past to be a chapter of your life and not try to be someone you used to be. Recognize where you are now.
Right. Which doesn't mean you can't learn from the past. You just can't go back
and that's really the key.
Redo it. Hope is not a strategy, you say.
Yeah, hope is not a strategy. Well, throughout the movie and the novel, hope is what drives Jay Gatsby. Obviously, he's so hopeful hopeful that he's going to get back together with the love of his life, and hope becomes basically his middle name. And I find as a life coach, and I work with a lot of people, they're very hopeful. I hope I'm going to lose weight. I hope I'm going to win the lottery. I hope, hope, hope.
Weird how that hoping to lose weight does not cause you to lose weight.
It's exactly it. It's not until you take a step, you know, and once Jay Gatsby started to, you know, he spent years trying to get Daisy to come to his parties, hoping, and it wasn't until he actually asked her did she come. And so when we're working towards making our dreams come true, take that step. It's great to have hope, but believe in yourself and take the step.
And do something. Okay, and the fifth is celebrate life, and you use the great party scene from The Great Gatsby, and this is the kind of party everybody wants to go to. This is wild and crazy and full of life.
Absolutely, and the movie is really grounded in a lot of parties, and it's just over-the-top excitement.
Clothes, the music, the everything is so spectacular.
Yeah, and it's really exciting, and I think for many of us, we don't celebrate enough. In my book, I actually have a whole section where I talk about we only celebrate anniversaries or birthdays. Why not celebrate my life is awesome, or let's have a great day, best friends get together, and just celebrate life, because you know what, life is short, and we must make the most of it.
It is. It goes by very quickly, and you know, I know this time of year people are attending graduations, and they're also attending reunions, and those are times when you really remember how quickly this all goes by. So these are excellent things to think about. Thank you so much.
Thank
it was
you.
fun to have you here.
Thank
You should do Gatsby more often. You look so cute. Shannon's book, Find Your Happy, is available in bookstores and online. For more inspiration and upcoming events, you can visit her award-winning website, playwiththeworld.com. And The Great Gatsby is playing in theaters right now. Next up, our favorite gardener, Cisco Morris. He needs to learn to celebrate life every day. If he could only do that, he'll be back to show us how easily we can grow our own food, even in limited space. We'll be right back. Woohoo!